Ladies and gentlemen, people went to prison. People got mugshots of them because of this. People lost their YouTube channels because of this. I remember I got demonetized for speaking about this. And it turns out that a lot of the things that they said that we were conspiracy theorists for, or they said that we were wrong about, a lot of people, it turns out that we just got a massive scandal about 2020, ladies and gentlemen, a massive scandal. Fulton County is now admitting that they violated the rules in 2020 when they certified 315 early votes, 315,000 early votes that lacked poll workers' signatures. We don't dispute the allegation, they said. The SOS also found FC violated official election processes. So what a crazy admission. It's going viral. This is the evidence that a lot of people have been really waiting for. And now we have Harmeet Dillon, right, who is going to play a pivotal role in this, right? Harmeet Dillon, she is suing Fulton County to achieve election integrity after the 2020 shenanigans. So we're going to be talking about that in just 1 second. But again, the video that it's going viral here, and again, a lot of people have been talking about this for a long time because the numbers were very close. The dumps overnight. I remember watching the election at this time, and I really was not into politics. I didn't vote in 2020. I remember, COVID had happened and all these things had happened. But I do remember one thing about this election is that when I went to sleep at 1 o'clock in the morning, Trump was up. Trump was leading. Trump was cooking. It looked like we were about to have a second Trump term. And then when I woke up, Trump wasn't leading anymore. And in fact, Trump had lost. They announced that he lost. They stopped counting after a certain time. And, when you look back all these years later and you have these types of videos, these types of admissions, it does really make you wonder, ladies and gentlemen. So here we go. Here's the video. Fulton County Board of Elections attorney Ann Brombov, I hope I'm saying her name right, Brombov, admits that 315,000 early votes were illegally certified during the 2020 election. So here we go. Let's actually take a look. This is the video on the internet that it's going viral.
I've not seen the tapes myself, but we do not dispute that the tapes were not signed. It was a violation of the rule. Since 2020, again, we have new leadership and a new building and a new board and new standard operating procedures. And since then, the training has been enhanced. The poll watchers are trained specifically. They've got to sign the tapes in the morning and they've got to sign the tapes when they're run at the end of the day. When the tapes come back to the hub for, with all the documentation, they are checked again. And if somebody forgot to sign a tape, then Fulton initiates an investigation. But we don't dispute the allegation.
Wow. They don't dispute the allegation, ladies and gentlemen. This is absolutely insane. And I saw this post. I really had to read this. So Rudy Giuliani was charged with 13 felonies, found liable for $148 million in damages and disbarred in DC and New York for disputing Georgia's election returns. I remember Trump, he was saying, find me the votes. Find me the votes. They're cheating in Georgia. I promise you they're cheating in Georgia. That turned out to be the truth here? Is that turned out to be the truth? But let's keep reading, right? Massive scandal. Fulton County admits they violated the rules in 2020 when they certified 315,000 early votes that lacked poll worker signatures. We don't dispute the allegation, they said. So it's now been confirmed, right? This thing it's so wild to me reading this stuff now, right? But it's been confirmed that the Georgia State Election Board hearing admits Fulton County violated rules and certified 315,000 early votes without poll worker signatures. This is exactly what Trump said happened. It's exactly what Trump said happened. In Fulton, where they dumped ballots. Actually, let's Let's take a listen. Let's take a listen. This is from January 2nd, 2021. This is a pissed off Donald J. Trump speaking about this. Take a listen.
In Fulton, where they dumped ballots, you will find that you have many that aren't even signed, and you have many that are forgeries. Okay? You know that. You know that. You have no doubt about that. And you will find you will be at 11,779 within minutes, because Fulton County is totally corrupt, and so is she totally corrupt. And they're going around playing you and laughing at you behind your back, Brad. Whether you know it or not, they're laughing at you. And you've taken a state that's a Republican state, and you've made it almost impossible for a Republican to win because of cheating, because they cheated like nobody's ever cheated before.
So again, that is a pissed off Trump speaking about this. And I'm going to tell you what the legalities will be behind all of this. But again, this is the video that has made the internet break here. Again, coming out. This is the video. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So here we go. Let's actually read this. A Fulton County, Georgia judge has denied Democrat officials to quash the subpoena to obtain the 2020 election records. So Assistant Attorney General Harmeet Dillon is suing Fulton to achieve election integrity after the 2020 shenanigans. Open the books. So this is going to be very, very, very interesting times. Here's the paperwork here. After hearing the considerable sparring over petitioners' ability to sue the state pursuant Article 1, Section 2, paragraph of the Constitution and the applicable to the simpler and more productive exploration of whether the subpoenas should be quashed. They should not. So again, it shows you here what the petitioners are arguing as far as the subpoenas go, and how Democrats are now pretty much in panic mode. They really tried to get this judge to quash it, right? To quash and just kind of throw this away. But again, the assistant AG, Harmeet Dillon, is about to open the books, ladies and gentlemen. So we're about to get some big time news about that. And again, I kind of want to go back to that day around that time. Imagine Joe Biden was winning a clear plus 300 electoral college vote victory on the night of 2020. All swing states were tight, but breaking for Biden. Data trending wrong way for Trump. Then suddenly the counting stops. So just imagine if it was the other way around. Magically, untraceable Trump votes appear overnight in all 5 swing counties where they desperately needed to turn the tide for Trump. Over the next few days, every state Biden was winning on election night was flipped to Trump by the thinnest of margins. And as soon as it did, the media declared Trump had won. Anyone who questioned this process was immediately banned from social media and eventually targeted by their own government for prosecution. I remember these times because, again, I told you guys. But just imagine it was the other way around. Imagine they did that for Trump. Immediately, the Trump administration began centrally organizing the criminal prosecution of Joe Biden and his family in the dark red districts across America using taxpayer dollars and authorizing federal raids on Joe Biden's home. Do you think libs would be content with this results? I don't think so. This is why so many Americans are waking up right now. So I don't think so. If you put it the other way around, when you really talk about it, I think when you look at what happened during the election, right, with the Hunter Biden laptop, what happened during the overnight, what like all these things. And again, somebody said this is just the tip of the iceberg. Like this would be just the tip of the iceberg as to what happened. And if this all comes out to be true when they open up the books, right? Because you still got another 3 years to go of a Trump administration, technically. So you still got a long way. You got thousands of days. I don't even know, like what, 1,100 days, 900 days? I don't know how many days are actually left of Trump still being president, still sitting in office while still having the administration there to really look into what happened throughout this whole time. But do you guys think that if it was the other way around, liberals would be content with the result? This is why so many Americans so many people in America are waking up right now. We all know. And this is what it was looking like, ladies and gentlemen. Take a look at this. Let me actually go here real quick.
A water pipe has broken in State Farm Arena. State Farm Arena is where they were counting the absentee ballots of Georgia's most populous county. And now the tabulation has stopped.
It's Allegheny, which is Pittsburgh, but also Beaver, part of our county to county, Butler and Westmoreland. They've all stopped counting for the night. They've gone to bed. They begin the process at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Good morning, Heather. They did have to press pause overnight. They will be back in a few short hours, expected to resume counting around 8:30 this morning.
Fulton County is now going to stop counting at 10:30 p.m. and will resume their count at tomorrow morning.
They basically stopped counting tonight. They're going to start counting again in a few hours. It's already tomorrow morning, right?
The election workers stopped counting those mail-in ballots at 10 o'clock. They will be back again tomorrow at 10 a.m.
And Nevada says it stopped counting the votes yesterday, election day, but they don't say why. Why did you stop counting them?
Here's where it gets really bizarre. At Fulton County, most populous county, it is Atlanta, they just stopped counting at 10:30 p.m. They stopped counting their absentee ballots. They said they'd pick it up in the morning.
But the counting in one of that state's biggest counties has stopped. Mike Armstrong is in Pennsylvania. Mike, we're talking about Allegheny County. That's the area around Pittsburgh. What's happening?
Election workers in Allegheny County are back to work after pausing counting overnight. Butler County had to press pause on counting ballots.
Nevada, meanwhile, has stopped counting votes until 9 a.m. on Thursday.
A water pipe has broken in State Farm Arena. State Farm Arena is where they were counting the absentee ballots of...
Crazy, ladies and gentlemen. Just watching these videos back. This is this is big time stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody is shocked that there is now an admission from Fulton County that the 2020 election was a complete fraud. Unfortunately, the fraud will happen again if Republicans don't axe the filibuster and pass serious election reform. Crazy stuff, ladies and gentlemen. I remember watching this from Tucker Carlson, actually. I remember him, he was talking about what it was about this warehouse, which is probably empty right now. But remember when Tucker was talking about all of this stuff a while ago? This is back in like 2021, 22, about what was happening with the chairman of Fulton County, Georgia Board of Commissioners. And let's take a little look at this.
Voter fraud in Fulton County, Georgia last November. That is not a conspiracy theory. It's true. From the beginning, this show has tried to be fact-based when we talk about the 2020 election results. So here's what we know tonight, factually. At least 36 batches of mail-in ballots from the November election were double counted in Fulton County. That's a total of more than 4,000 votes. Those numbers come from a group called VoterGA, which along with Bob Cheeley sued to get them. The final tally from the double counts we know about amounts to more than 3,300 votes for Joe Biden and 865 votes for Donald Trump. Now, before you dismiss Bob Cheeley and VoterGA as dishonest partisan actors, keep in mind that the strongly left of center Atlanta Journal-Constitution appears to agree with this, at least in outline. The newspaper reviewed the available digital ballot images independently and concluded that hundreds of ballots were improperly duplicated. What does that look like exactly? Well, here's what it looks like. At a press conference yesterday, a consultant with VoterGA called David Cross showed how we can be certain that votes in Fulton County were counted more than once. Watch.
What I'm going to show you here is two ballots side by side. One of them is marked for Jason.
Now, does that guy look familiar or what? Does that guy look like? Let's go back to the video here. Go back to the viral video. Does that guy look like this guy? That guy looks like this guy. And he was there. That's why he had that big smile. Yeah, man, that's why he was smiling. He had that big smile on his face because they had, he's been there since, again, day one, breaking it all down. We can go exactly back to that moment of him not only breaking it down. Actually let's stay on topic here. Let me keep playing this for you guys.
Sean, it's got a little squiggle mark next to it. You can see it's got the identical mark on the second one. And the ballot image is stored up here on the top left. So this one over here is scanner 5162. That's scanner number 3. Fax number 235. Image number 19. And that matches 234, image 59. So you have the same ballot counted twice in the images and counted in the audit. How that's possible, I don't know.
How's that possible? I don't know. Every American should want to know, because the answer gets to the heart of the integrity of our elections, otherwise known as our democracy. We're not talking about a couple of ballots here. We're talking about a lot of ballots, at least hundreds of ballots involved, enough potentially to affect the outcome of the election.
315,000. 315,000.